Children will act and behave in ways that they believe adults want to act and behave. So if a child thinks that the world's all about views, then the child sees the adult, and the adult acts and behaves in a way that is consistent with being thirsty for clout and being aggressive, chasing views and social media behaviors. The child who looks up to the adult and fantasizes about being an adult someday, because adults set the standard in the game, and we set, when you're 16 you get a car, and when you're 18 you can fight for the country, and when you're 21, we set this fantastic fantasy-driven idea that when you get to certain ages and certain levels, closer to adulthood, that rewards and riches and features and privileges unlock for the child. The problem with that is that children are born and built differently, right? And not everything that we see kids doing, our kids should be doing. Not everything that you see people doing, you should be doing. Not all the things that women are doing, all women should do. Not all things that people in the city are doing, all people in the city need to be doing. So there's a distortion in a world where children spend time and value their play space in the same space and time that adults value their devices, activities inside the play space. And children and adults are occupying the same play space and occupying the same behavioral needs and desires. Never before has that been done. And that's what makes it really confusing for children that are growing up, because human beings, our species, we remain youth. We remain a child. We remain adolescents. We grow longer. We remain undeveloped longer than a lot of other creatures do. Okay? What I'm saying is we stay children longer than, I don't know, canines. Okay? You stay, we don't, intellectually, socially, sexually, mechanically, it takes us a long time to develop. Unlike, say, a ladybug. Okay? Or a hummingbird. Hummingbirds don't have to stay children for years and years and years to develop. No, fucking people do. So that should be something that people should be qualified and equipped to remember. If indeed you were raised, with some stability. Okay? But the thing is no matter how much stability that you have, good things happen to bad people. Jeffrey Dahmer's parents weren't really terrible people. You know what I mean? They weren't, necessarily packing people in the freezer. So where did he learn that behavior from? You know what I'm saying? And let's face it, some terrible things have been done to really good people, and they make their way out of it, and they wind up being able to tell their story and change the world. So some children play GTA, and want to drill, you know what I'm saying? And then some children watch Saw or horror movies and wet the bed. Where other children, might laugh uncomfortably at a horror scene, and you want to remove them from the room from a whole different reason. You see what I'm saying? If somebody's watching a gang scene in a movie and they start giggling feverishly, you might want to remove them for a different reason. But if they cry, they wet the bed, there's a number of different reasons that somebody could be affected socially by what they're seeing, by what type of images are going through their head, and what type of embellishments or encouragement those images are accelerating. You know what I mean? And how behaviors are connected to these images. And when you're young and you are youthful and you are undeveloped, your identity, the person who you think you are or the person you think you want to become, is developed highly on these images, on cultural presentations on Hollywood and music and all these different places. And each and every brain is unique and independently designed to deal with these features of the world differently. This is why you shouldn't act in certain ways you don't want your children to act. So if you don't want your children to be a thief, don't let your kids see you steal. Have a nice night.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, guys. See you guys next Wednesday.